Orks, clear to play.
Welcome, boys and girl, to another episode of Rules You Got Wrong and Will Get Wrong in 6th edition. So this is obviously a video about Orks versus Grey Knights that has recently been posted. And what I'll do is go, well, because a lot of the rules will stay the same, just like codex related, but a lot have changed a little bit. So we'll go through all the different rules that you said and how it also relate to the 6th edition, but also in the game. So let's get right into it. Marshal Gotan. Wouldn't that Storm Raven have been wrecked? Roll the 6 on glancing, 6 minus 1 equals 5. If a Storm Raven was open topped, yes. But it's not, so it's minus 2. So it'd be a 4, so it'd be immobilized. However, loves to spooge. Okay, although it would have been wrecked anyway, it moved flat out. If a skimmer goes flat out, then is immobilized in the next turn, it crashes, although occupants don't die unless it crashes in the owning player's turn. So, it would have been wrecked, actually. So, you are strangely correct, Gotan. 6th edition, the same thing. And it's nice, it verifies it, it's all clear. If it's immobilized in the same player's turn or the following turn, if the skimmer has moved all out. Just skimmers though. Regular vehicles doesn't apply to. Like the following turn. So you guys were correct. Hendrix, 84. When the librarian casts Sanctuary, the rule states it counts as both difficult and dangerous terrain, so you may not have been able to even pull off the assault. Assuming you're talking about my Storm Boys, I did roll, I'm pretty sure. I think I was like, actually, no, I was 2 inches away. I was right up there, so minimum is 2 inches because you roll 2 dice. And take the highest. I guess minimum was 1 inch? Anyways, I was 1 inch away. I think I did roll anyways, but it was because you have to be 1 inch away minimum, right? So you can move exactly 1 inch away from them. And when you assault, you can move 1 inch and be exactly in base-to-base contact. And so it is actually possible to move up so close that it's impossible to fail an assault. Although with dangerous terrain, I guess individual models dying, I guess if the front ones died, you could fail. But that's how that worked. Loves to spooge. Only models actually move through the wreck and take tests, no? They all count as being slow, but only those models going into the terrain itself actually test for the terrain. And that's also verified in 6. So only the actual models going through. Even in that, we didn't move the models just because it was simpler, because there's a big Storm Raven. You don't want to put big metal models on this like concave, like weird angled vehicle, because then they'll fall and break. And well, I braked his librarian after I killed him anyways. It was an accident, Lloyd, I'm sorry. I finally killed his librarian later in the video, and I'm like, aha! And I went to go like move him out of the way, and I just knocked him over, and he just and broke. And I was like, it looked like a very like vindictive move, just like bah! But it wasn't meant that way. It was just perfect timing, so I was able to enjoy it, even though I didn't mean it. So I was slightly sorry, but I didn't have to be full sorry because I didn't actually mean to break it. That makes sense? Anyways, yes, you're correct, but there would have been maybe 1 or 2. The rest would have been trying to get into base-to-base contact, moving the full 6. And so maybe 1 or 2 in the squad would not have gone through the difficult terrain. The rest would have to try to get in base-to-base with the Orks right through the Storm Raven. And that's something, so although we didn't show it that way, you don't move the models, theoretically, they are on top of the Storm Raven. But then we forgot to pay attention to that next turn when they killed them, when they consolidated, like all that stuff. And so you have to remember a lot with the little models, which is silly sometimes, but that's the way it is. Demon Hound. It looks like he placed a 2 wound for remaining on the librarian, but they only have 2 wounds, so it should have been a 1. Yep. That was a simple mistake by Lloyd. He thought the librarian had 3 wounds. It only has 2. Moving on. Trizek. Wait, did you just ram with the immobilized battle wagon? Or did I miss a repair somewhere? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I repaired the same turn that I got immobilized. Try to move, mobilized. Shooting phase. Roll, repair. Great. Next turn, I was able to move. And so I actually moved the turn before as well. Gotta catch that, man. You're a turn slow. Zephin. Can a skimmer dodge if it's stunned? I honestly don't remember, but I thought a skimmer couldn't dodge if a ram if it was stunned. Honestly, it shouldn't be able to, but there's nothing in the rulebook against it. However, in 6th edition, all they say is that if you're going to get rammed as a skimmer, you have the jink special rule. So the jink is your 5+ dodge, and so there's no 3+ dodge anymore. But I think it's the same rules. You just stop in front. Actually, I'm not sure 100% on that. Anyways, it's a lot easier to ram skimmers now, which means death rollers are great. Loves to. Draco's gun is only strength 4. He cannot pen the battle wagon even if open topped. Cool story though. So basically, when he shot, Lloyd just thought it was strength 5 instead of strength 4, and so they would have been. It's only -1 because he's open top, not -2, so it would have been wrecked as well. And so instead of exploding, it would have been wrecked, which wouldn't have made a huge difference in the overall game, but that is very, very good to know. Master of Dimac. Bomber would have been wrecked in 6 by now with hull points by 5th. So yes, it's true. Although Bomber should have been dead the first hit. Penetrating hit 1. Penetrating hit 2. Penetrating hit 1. I'm still alive! Although I'm interested, actually, maybe I should bring more mechs with my army. Like a battle wagon full of Burnas is still somewhat effective. But the main thing is, if you bring like 3 mechs with the Burnas, like the mechs can like repair the battle wagon from inside, because you no longer have to shoot with everybody. You can choose not to shoot with some models. And so if they don't shoot, then they might be able to make a repair roll. And then you could repair hull points in the battle wagon because it has 4. Ideas are rolling. Thank you. That just came out of nowhere. It came from Master of Dimac. Full props to you. Missinka. That bomber did go to heaven in such an orc style. Flyers for the win. What makes you think that orcs go to heaven? They probably did. I don't know. But yes, it's true. If there's a good place to go in the warp or wherever you go in the 40k universe when you die, that's where the orc bomber went and his pilots. Because it did not give up. It flew around, and then crashed itself in the Storm Raven. It died in vain because it didn't do anything to the Storm Raven. Well, it removed the weapon, so it helped a bit. But it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Italis Crow. There's a lot of misinterpretation of the Grey Knight's Codex lately. If you play by the Codex strictly, they're actually only slightly more powerful than the Space Wolves usually. That's what I find. So especially for you Grey Knight players, but for everybody, when you're playing your Codex and you read something and it seems overpowered and it seems really, really powerful, reread it. Don't abuse the rules and other people's ignorance because they don't know your rules. Don't play with more wounds than your models have. Don't cast psychic powers when you shouldn't. That actually didn't happen in this game, but it happened in another Grey Knight game. Don't, just little things that just make sure you know your Codex and you're following the rules properly, because when you win, you want it to be a legit win. You don't want to win because of some little gimmick or some misinterpretation that's your fault, or even that's their fault. For me at least, it's a very empty victory. Because you're like, I won, but it was an unfair victory because I wasn't playing with all the rules. Not that 40k is fully balanced, but they try a little bit. Wee little bit to make it balanced. So it's just, if I was a Grey Knight player and I was winning, and I would feel terrible about myself if I was playing with rules that were wrong. That I found out later, I'd be like, I just had this huge sinking feeling. Like when I did with my orcs, like I was re-rolling failed pinning checks because that's leadership instead of morale. So it was an honest mistake, right? But I was like, oh, dang it. And it's just like, there's no way I could ever do that again, because it just hit me so hard, because I was like, I've basically cheated, unknowingly, but cheated so many times before that. So I hope you guys just, with all the new rules set, all the new facts, just reread them, and then reread them one more time so you know, because it's important to be able to play properly. That's how you have the most fun at the end of the day.